PowerPoints, I'm going to discuss what the Arkreen Network is all about, ranging from its entire ecosystem, the products in the Arkreen Network, the roadmap plan, and its reward mechanisms, or how Arkreen Network incentivizes its users to join the network. Now let's start with the introduction and how we started our journey in the Arkreen Network. Arkreen Network, a bottom-up network for distributed renewable energy resources. Associates familiar with our journey will recognize that we have been focusing on the integration and innovation of IoT and blockchain for a while. During the second half of 2021, many exchanges were held between ourselves and the Singapore enterprises to discuss business opportunities and the future use cases for integrating IoT and blockchain. The conclusions of our analysis led to a clear and green direction of decarbonization and sustainability. Our objective in Arkreen Network is to utilize transformative digital technologies such as IoTs to collect real-time green data related to carbon emissions from renewable energy resources. The green data collected from the solar PV panels, EV charging columns, renewable energy storage batteries, smart air conditioners, and other use cases are all verifiable and immutable throughout their life cycle. A driving force behind the project for green data is its equitability factor, because it needs to be used by third parties such as government regulators, financial institutions, upstream and downstream enterprises, and carbon exchanges. Another significant driving force for the usage of green data is its financial solid attraction. When we reduce carbon emission, carbon credit can be generated to form additional value, where accurate carbon emission data helps to reduce carbon taxes more effectively. As we welcome the year 2022, we began to plan a direction for green carbon data on-chain. Although many types of green carbon data exist already, we focus on renewable energy equipment like solar PV panels, energy storage batteries, EV charging columns, and that is much more easier to retrofit digitally. As we began to focus on renewable energy equipment, we first concentrated on solar PV panels. Since the sun shines on the earth universally, it will not only shine in one place and matches the distributed nature of a Web3 world. A highly digitalized, large capacity, centralized solar PV panels power farms already exist globally. Still, there also exists a massive number of long-tail households, a small capacity distributed solar PV panels deployment where the green data has not been fully developed. The green data value from a single distributed household solar PV panels is not high. The return of investment of digital transformation cannot be calculated. If, however, Web3 technology or Web3 methodology is used to connect disassociated long-tail distributed solar PV panels globally by aggregating the green data generated by these 10,000s, 100,000s, or even 1 million distributed rooftop solar PV panel users, a relatively large and powerful data asset can be crystallized. Considerable green data asset can be formed, which can also be used as a green certificate. This green data can also be provided to energy service providers such as virtual power plant generation and power consumption forecasting and scheduling, thereby fully tapping the value of green data asset in this long-tail marketplace. In this slide, we will look into the Arkreen Network ecosystem. Arkreen unlocks a new green asset class. What is Arkreen Network? Arkreen is a digital infrastructure network for globally distributed renewable energy equipment and devices. The goal is to onboard global long-tail fragmented renewable energy equipment to generate data value by aggregating their community resources. By combining digital transformation with a decentralized Web3 approach, we can promote deploying more distributed renewable energy equipment. This will maximize the utilization of resources to achieve a global zero carbon goal. Arkreen is a combination of two words, Ark plus green. This green arc helps humanity not only build but in fact leapfrog to create sustainable development. Arkreen Network implements IoT oracles through IoT plus blockchain technology integration to connect various types of distributed renewable energy equipment, and then allows green energy generation, electricity consumption, and energy storage data on-chain. The trustworthiness and the verifiability of this data can be recognized throughout its life cycle. And at the same time, the future on-chain contract can also be trigger control instructions for these devices and equipment, such as notifying a solar photovoltaic to feed into the grid, or notifying the battery to store energy, or notifying air conditioners to increase the temperature by 1 degree. Now, let's expand the introduction of the Arkreen network and which practical application can be deployed. Let's explore the use cases for RAC, which is renewable energy certificates, and explain a little bit more about how these RAC are used. A RAC is a global standard product for any business to offset its carbon emissions caused by energy consumptions. One RAC equates to 1 megawatt per hour for electricity generated from renewable energy resources such as solar panels or wind turbines. Ecologically friendly entities can voluntarily offset their unavoidable energy consumption carbon emissions by purchasing RAC to incentivize more renewable energy resources to be deployed. ESG, which stands for Environmental and Sustainable Governance. Giants companies like Google, Apple, and Microsoft have been purchasing RACs or renewable power stations to offset their carbon footprint for years. When the Agri network reaches a particular scale, a practical application will emerge. In short term, verifiable green power generated data from the distributed solar photovoltaics panels in a long-tail market can be verified and converted into green renewable energy certificates, which can be provided to enterprises for carbon neutrality. This illustrates the first application and the service for the Arkreen network that will be explored further. Glimpsing into a mid-long time frame, there is an opportunity to slowly observe a decentralized network emerging that links hundreds of thousands or millions of various types of renewable energy equipment, like applications such as a virtual power plant for the ability to achieve a flexible response to energy supply and demand, while allowing this on-grid renewable energy asset to be monetized more efficiently, further enhancing the deployment of renewable energy. The potential digital application will be implemented by the Arkreen network in an external business close-up loop manner to obtain green data value, and also be promoted to more community miners to join and connect their distributed solar photovoltaic panel asset onto the Arkreen network. We are building such a decentralized data infrastructure which provides verifiable, trusted uplink data as well as authentic up-downlink control. It will unlock a whole new type of green data asset from the physical world for traditional finance and the crypto communities. This will incubate many innovative applications that combine verifiable data of renewable energy scenarios with traditional finance and decentralized finance. By looking at this diagram, for traditional finance, a trusted on-chain data is provided as a risk assessment service to conventional financial institutions for pre-investment risk control and post-investment asset management of renewable energy assets. The innovative Green Bond project initiated by the Bank of International Settlements last year is also based on green data on-chain. While for the decentralized finance, which is one of the hot ecosystem or hot topic in the crypto world, can the digital asset formed by renewable energy in the physical world be connected to DeFi protocol and applications? It has been a hot topic recently around the real world asset. While for regenerative finance, the community has also recently initiated an aggressive direction for renewable energy finance, or combining the carbon assets and DeFi. How do we converge the supply side of long-tail green data asset faster for more efficiency on the Arkreen network and deliver it to the demand side for green data usage. This is a challenging but also auspicious direction. Now let's look at the Arkreen network products. Bootstrap Arkreen in a bottom-up way. It is no different when establishing a similar digital infrastructure. Tremendous fundamental value is derived from building it out. Still, if done in a traditional top-down manner like other infrastructure construction, it will lead to a weighty and drawn-out process. Helium has created a perfect Web3 methodology with its bottom-up refactoring process of digital infrastructure based on proof of physical work defined by Helium's investor, Multicoin. Helium has deployed about 1 million IoT gateways worldwide in approximately 2 years through the community's miners. If this same project had to rely on traditional corporate organizations for investor growth, we should for sure be calculating this built out in a matter of decades. For Arkreen Network, we have analyzed all successful IoT plus blockchain business models and incorporated best practices with the community to construct Arkreen Network. We believe proof of physical work incentive mechanisms is optimal to mobilize community builders to invest in acre mining machines. Our prime strategy is to incorporate a kind of do-it-yourself smartness to transform distributed household solar photovoltaic equipment on residential roofs to implement this digitalization process. This is a very much a build from the bottom-up digital infrastructure plan for distributed renewable energy resources. By employing our proof of physical work incentive mechanisms, the objective is to encourage more builders to digitize their household solar photovoltaic panels by purchasing and installing acre mining devices. By employing a do-it-yourself procedure to digitalize their solar PV panel system, the builder will register trustworthy green energy generation data on the Arkreen network to acquire incentive rewards. Through this bottom-up incentive method, long-tail distributed solar photovoltaic panels can be constructed quickly at a low cost for the digital infrastructure, while the community provides grants to encourage the development of more innovative applications. When more applications emerged from the trusted green data of the Arkreen network, they will generate more benefit from the external data services and feed them back to community builders to form a flywheel effect. This helps build a digital infrastructure for distributed renewable energy resources from the bottom up. Now let's explain some of the products in the Arkreen network, starting with solar PV panels. We kick off our strategy with the distributed solar photovoltaic panels and the offered plug-and-play gateways corresponding to existing household solar photovoltaic panel usage. We encourage those builders to build it yourself to accomplish digital transformation. In the future, we plan to pre-integrate Arkreen network access with mainstream solar photovoltaic inverter manufacturers to achieve economies of scale and increase household solar photovoltaic panel adoption. Down the road, we will expand beyond distributed household solar photovoltaic panels to include household energy storage batteries and various controllable energy equipment. This will help us achieve the goal of interfacing with more types of renewable energy resources for the Arkreen network. Now let's have a look on our mining device product called Acre, a standalone mountable device gateway used to digitize solar photovoltaic panels. Strong technical collaboration allows us to substantiate the proof of physical work protocol through an IoT oracle, while ongoing testing on the credibility of the registration process on the chain is happening in a small-scale internal test. Acre has a guardian module composed of 3 different core components: an IoT wireless module, a security element, and a data acquisition, resulting in the following 3 capabilities. global cellular connectivity, IoT data security, and trusted data on-chain functionality. This will help solar photovoltaic panels to achieve access to Web3 services through rapid digital transformation, including access to distributed network services, storage services, and decentralized identity services. These features allow the Arkreen device to accurately and digitally measure the physical workload of the solar photovoltaic panel for its internal power generation, while signing those workload data with its own unique digital ID. Thus, Arkreen can register the proof of green energy generation in an on-chain distributed ledger for fair and transparent distributed subsequent rewards and benefits. Arkreen already has the capabilities to enable the adoption of world's mainstream solar photovoltaic inverters and mainstream cellular IoT modules. Arkreen Network benefits from this capability to ensure all kinds of distributed solar photovoltaic equipment at the fastest speed and gather green data generated by solar photovoltaic panels at minimal cost. Enjoying our resourceful Arkreen device, Arkreen Network can connect to a vast number of distributed solar photovoltaic devices worldwide and register the solar photovoltaic power generated data on the network. It is reversed based on demand requirements. Arkreen is implemented as a closed-loop device with its proof of physical work-based incentive model that collects green data for distributed renewable energy equipment and offers genuinely unique earnings model. The plan for the year 2023 is to open source the specifications of the Arkreen mining device and invite more OEM equipment manufacturers to develop mining devices together with Arkreen joint participation. Now that we have introduced our mining device, the next step is to explain our proof model. We mentioned earlier that we had already adopted a similar proof of physical work model implemented by Multicoin to define our proof of concept model, which we refer to as proof of capacity. The capacity mentioned here refers to the energy capacity of distributed renewable energy equipment, including energy generation, energy consumption, and energy storage capacities. Based on the three types of assets that the Arkreen network will access in the future, there are three use cases. First use case we plan to explore soon is oriented to the proof of green energy generation adoption, such as distributed solar photovoltaic panels. By reporting the green energy generation data are combined with the device's ID, address, and time information and other related information, it will authenticate the total amount of green electricity generation by the solar photovoltaic panel. Later, I will give you a detailed introduction to this proof algorithm down the road. We plan to extend to proof of energy storage, mainly for an energy storage battery, to measure the credible evidence of how much electricity can be physically stored. The proof of energy consumption is primarily for a controllable load, credible evidence of how much electricity can be consumed. Now let's look at the mining rewards in Arkreen Network. We use the proof of green energy generation for distributed solar photovoltaic panels to explain the mining process specifically. Miners purchase an Arkreen mining device plugged into a solar photovoltaic panels on their resident rooftops, allowing connection to the Arkreen network. Each miner device must mint a corresponding Arkreen NFT to register on the Arkreen network. Each miner owner also needs to mint a builder NFT by staking Arkreen and bind his builder NFT with the miner's Arkreen NFT to activate the miner and start mining. Miners will report energy generation data to the Oracle according to the requirements of the Arkreen network. After the Oracle verification process is successful, the miner's wallet can obtain relevant rewards. So now let's look at the proof of green generation. Arkreen Network rewards miners that keep reporting high-quality energy generation data to the network. The authenticity of the energy generation data reported by miners is crucial to the vitality of the Arkreen network. The mechanism to verify the energy generation has been aptly titled Proof of Green Energy Generation, which is POGG. The specific algorithm details are: select target areas with similar lighting and weather conditions and filter for miners or solar panels in them. Count the real-time power curve of the mining device in a certain time period. Real-time power will reflect the sunlight situation. Calculate the similarity of real-time power curves of all miners in the exact area. You are judging the data authenticity score of the miner based on the similarity calculation results and the preset threshold. The higher the data authenticity score, the higher the rewards, all things equal. Now let's look at the roadmap in the Arkreen network. Beginning in October, we will activate the pre-testing phase, targeting early adopters in the community. We will launch a gaming miner that simulates a distributed solar photovoltaic panel experience to give those early adopters a hands-on way to participate in the pre-testing gaming mining process. At the same time, we will also launch our remote mining program and trigger the pre-sale of our standard miner acre. Our remote mining is mainly for users who do not have the conditions to install rooftop solar photovoltaic panels. They can use our cooperative solar photovoltaic power plants to participate in Arkreen incentive activities. Remote mining is expected to launch by the end of the first quarter, while standard miners will start shipping to the community by the early 2023. By the second quarter of 2023, we will open the specification of the acre miner, allowing more hardware equipment manufacturers to launch their certified acre miners in the second half of the next year. We expect that throughout the next 9 to 12 month testing phase, the community will build and deploy more than 10,000 acre miners, bringing together assets with a power generation capacity of more than 10 megawatts. The network is expected to be officially launched by the end of 2023. Now let's look at our vision in Arkreen Network. We want to build a connection and monetization infrastructure for distributed fragmented energy resources to generate RAC, promote distributed energy resources operations, share EV charging columns, and unimaginable use cases for carbon neutral feature. As creators of the Arkreen Network, we hope to welcome more community enthusiasts and industry partners to co-build a decentralized network that enables the interconnection and the value transfer of distributed renewable energy resources and explore future application innovations to achieve a closed-loop value of green data for carbon neutral goals. Thank you very much.